4th of January. The time is 7:21 p.m. Location of log, urban location 24, sector 10. We have made initial progress, successful progress at that. I have sent the necessary first log to the Ministry of Civil Protection, though they have not yet returned any response. It is likely that they have deleted the message and called it a day. However, I have arrived onto the scene with what appeared to be Minister Laurentius Hartwig outside the palace gates. I introduced myself to the minister and he invited me through the palace upper security grounds to have a formalized discussion. Initially, the important backer to be was apprehensive to what was being offered. The man is an economist, one of silver tongues and fiscal profits. I knew the type, and as such the first log was showcased to himself and his Overwatch sentinels stationed within the palace boundaries. After showcasing the Ultris project to Hartwig through a data chip on his personal computer terminal, we hooked him. His interests combined with his concepts of profit have swayed him into our favor practically immediately. The demands of Hartwig are expecting such potentials to cut costs in the administration's maintenance of social suppression on the civilian population here. With this in mind, we have secured a vital ally in the opening phases of our establishment operations. We are using tactics similarly enacted by the Combined Planetary Research Directive and the Institute of Medical Sciences to grab the attention of figures that show personal attribute for ambitious desires to obtain power, and those who are seemingly without purpose. There's a list of candidate names who have shown some form of competency or who have approached myself during a Chamber of Binders meeting regarding the urban location's financial disposition. The following names have been identified as possible individuals of interest. Joan Stuffles, the newly democratically appointed board director of the Ministry of Commerce, has approached me, who is also a supporting researcher within the Ministry of Progress. He has stated he is aware of the project and will prove to be a vital ally in the coming future. Vivienne Rodia, a rather anomalous woman in the chamber. It appears she has a fiery voice, though it seems she does not hold all of the answers as is expected to answer straightforward questions. She makes moves, but doesn't know how to sidestep them. It is prevalent to me that the individual uses a great deal of people around her to give the answers, rather than seeking them out herself. She appears to be in conflict with the Civil Workers Union and the Civil Workers Party. There is clearly something at play here. A Japanese man known as Kawashima, a figure that failed to be democratically elected into the position of board director. He may have his influential uses, given he had pursued it thoroughly and through a final second decision. Zharkov Gurga, Hartwig's second man as it may seem. Gaining his trust will be important, but his disdain for the Ministry of Progress may hamper relations in the future. He's one that doesn't prefer his time wasted, even in small talk, and also he's very direct. One should be aware of his motives before going forward. Leonard Reiter introduced himself to me, showcasing himself rather curious of my presence here. He seemed friendly, the well-mannered type. Perhaps he may be a future backer to keep in contact with. Lastly, Vanya Komarov. This figure is very interested in our pursuit of research. Seemingly the figure is very ambitious and perhaps trying to push his connections to powerful levels. He's the ominous type, one that likes to walk circles around those he may find wiggle room to flaunt with. The figure also speaks in riddles. To me, this means he doesn't share the full truth of what his thoughts are upon certain questions when asked. A walking fog, or shroud, as it were. But provably worth an investment of social endeavor, regardless, with Hartwig and other potential backers willing to take part in this project, or perhaps be associated at the very least, combined with the new equipment arriving today via train that myself and August transported to the clinic. We have much to work with. It is best not to ask about the expenditures, even if the city and ourselves aren't the one paying for it. All we need now is chemists and a secure, stable plan of action. Criteria from the previous log still applies.